Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are going to completely cure your financial overwhelm. You know how money is almost always presented to us as this huge, complicated ocean? It's intimidating, right? It leaves you feeling like you either have to become an expert sailor overnight or, well, just stay safely on the shore forever. And I see so many people get absolutely terrified of making one wrong move, of losing the money they work so incredibly hard for, that they end up just doing nothing at all. And honestly, that's the biggest mistake you can make. So today, we're transforming that terrifying ocean into a simple autopilot system. We are going to break down an exact playbook that pretty much runs itself, growing your wealth without you having to stress about it every single day. So let's take a quick look at the playbook roadmap. Seeing the big picture right up front proves that wealth building isn't some chaotic guessing game. It's a structured, finite process. We're going to hit Section 1, the solid foundation, Section 2, automate everything, Section 3, the boring S&P 500, Section 4, the 1% growth rule, Section 5, simple spending rules, and finally, Section 6, the magic of compounding. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the solid foundation. Now, before we get to the super exciting parts of wealth building, we absolutely have to build our foundation so your financial house doesn't immediately collapse. Look, this is the part a lot of people want to skip right over, but it's honestly exactly why they don't end up succeeding. If you're carrying credit card debt at something crazy like 20% interest, you are in a trap. It's exactly like trying to run up a Jong escalator. It's almost impossible for your investments to outpace what you're losing. You're putting in all this intense effort just to stay in the exact same place, or worse, you're actually sliding backward. Your investments simply cannot beat a 20% interest rate consistently. The absolute only exception to this rule, if your employer offers a 100% match for your retirement plan. That is literally free money and you should totally take it. But otherwise, getting rid of that high-interest debt just has to be priority number one. To really solidify that foundation, you have to ruthlessly prioritize two things. On one side, like we just said, aggressively clearing out that high-interest debt. And on the other, building what I like to call a financial spare tire. Because let's be real here, life is going to happen. The car will break down. A surprise medical bill will just show up in the mail. You need a dedicated fund for those oh crap moments. So the absolutely crucial point here is securing 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. And listen, you do not want this tied up in the stock market. You want it tucked away safely in a high-yield savings account. It has to be safe, and it has to be incredibly easy to grab when you actually need it. This isn't your investment money, guys. This is the money that lets you sleep soundly at night. Okay, moving right along to Section 2, automate everything. Once your foundation is totally solid, we take your moods, your daily fears, and those classic I'll do it tomorrow excuses completely out of the equation. Automation is quite literally the lazy way to build wealth, and let me tell you, it is the most powerful tool you have. Think of it exactly like a sprinkler system. You set it up once, and it makes sure your financial garden keeps growing without you ever having to actively think about it. You just set up transfers from your checking account straight to your investments to happen automatically, usually the day after you get paid. Boom. You basically save yourself from yourself. And the absolute best part about this, you don't need to be rich to start. Even starting small with just $50 a week makes a truly massive difference over time. By automating that $50, you turn investing into a guaranteed background habit, rather than a daily, exhausting choice you have to actively make over and over again. Which brings us to Section 3, the boring S&P 500. Now, keeping things wonderfully boring is actually the smartest, most effective move you can make in the market. People love to make investing incredibly complicated, right? They chase hot stocks, they try to perfectly time the market. Well, we are going to do the exact opposite. Instead of trying to pick one winning company out of thousands, a low-cost, passive S&P 500 index fund is like buying a single slice of pizza that already has 500 different toppings on it. You instantly get a piece of everything, from tech giants to healthcare to retail. You are immediately spreading your risk out so you aren't just betting on one single company to succeed. And because it's a passive fund, the fees you pay are super low. It's simply the most powerful way to get started. Next up, Section 4, the 1% growth rule. The real secret to a massive portfolio isn't always making huge, painful contributions. It's actually all about small, consistent increases. Every single year, on the exact same day, maybe it's your birthday or maybe you just set it for January 1st, you bump up your automatic investment amount by just 1%. Think of it like turning up the thermostat in a massive room by just 1 single degree every hour. At first, you literally don't even feel the change. You will barely notice a 1% bump in your monthly budget. But over time, the whole room gets warm. the long-term impact on your investments is absolutely huge. All right, Section 5, Simple Spending Rules. So, as your income grows, you are going to face a sneaky new threat: lifestyle inflation. This is essentially pouring your hard-earned money into a bucket that keeps developing increasingly larger holes. The more you pour in, the more leaks out on new, unnecessary spending. To keep yourself completely honest and plug those holes, you need two simple rules. First, the 48-hour rule. Before buying any non-essential item over $100, force yourself to wait 48 hours. That little window of time lets that initial "I absolutely need this right now" feeling fade away. Second, anytime you get a raise or a bonus at work, automatically divert a big chunk of that new money straight to your investments. Do it instantly, before your brain even has a chance to get used to having that extra cash sitting in your checking account. And finally, Section 6, the magic of compounding. This is where this entire automated system stops feeling like math and starts to feel like actual magic. Think about the momentum of a tiny snowball at the very top of an incredibly long snowy hill. When it starts to roll, it picks up just a little bit of snow. But the bigger it gets, the more snow it grabs with every single rotation. It gets bigger and faster and bigger and faster. Your first few years of investing might feel a little slow, but compounding eventually turns your money into an unstoppable avalanche of wealth. When you map this out, you see an incredible exponential jump. Over decades, your automated, boring investments are doing all of this heavy lifting in the background for you. It proves that you do not need to be a Wall Street guru or some financial genius to get wealthy. You don't need a get-rich-quick scheme. You just need to get wealthy methodically. You're building a system that works tirelessly for you so you don't have to work for your money for the rest of your natural life. This entire journey, from that emergency fund all the way to the unstoppable avalanche, starts with just a single move. You have the playbook now. You know exactly how to stop working for your money and start making it work for you. So I'll leave you with this. What is the very first step you are going to take this week to get your automatic money machine running? Think about it, make a decision, and take that step today. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.